then a user, we have a user, and then created a team for our user with blind, the blind team, and then from there we went and added team members. We added team members for our team. So now we have team members, and then after that, with the team members, the color behind the letter can be changed to anything you want. So yeah, and then we then went and added shifts. So now we have the normal shift. This is the normal shift. We have the morning shift, early shift, and the graveyard shift. So all of these shifts are added now into members, and then we went and also actually assigned shifts to members for this week. We also did it for next week and maybe the week after. Yes, did all of that. So now today, what I wanted to do, so when you click here, you can edit. But now after editing, you can't tell that you have pressed the update button here or not. You're unable to tell. So I need to make it so that when made a change, this button will flash. So that's the notes that we had yesterday. Our notes there. The notes that we had yesterday. That's what they're saying. So that put so my bitrate was too low, so higher so that my video doesn't lag or play it low bitrate quality. Okay, yeah. So I hope ngibonakala kahle. I'm not begging or poor quality. Streaming to 2 platforms. Yeah. All right, it's weird. So yeah, so when you make an edit, we want the update button to flash. This one. So it's gonna flash. Yeah, it's gonna flash like like this, something like that. When you've made a change. So in here, we actually now have to find where all of these table, where find this table. To go to files and try and find Anani shift issues. Could be this one. Types. Type shift names that time. Let's be this. It looks like. Oh fuck. Shift types. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I have to find. This is table. Now, if I set interval, save button, say flash. Let's go. So, at class list. Class list. Toggle loading. Let's call it edit. With edit. Toggling second. And now CSS, add CSS, type here. So this is gonna actually tell us what color it should be. So we will make it so this class list now background. Red, white, borders, this border. It's gonna say. So this now should, without having that, but flashing. Start doing yeah. Still holding on to code. Nothing. Check it. Definitely can't. Yeah. Flash, 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 flash. So, about this 1,000 means every second. Add console logging. Console finishes. Let's see. And we see that, right? One flashing. We need to make sure I see the body flash. The button. So we want to make the text red. And let's see if so. We just wanna see the text flash as well. Damn it, this button is stubborn, doesn't want to do anything. Let's see, what the hell is going on? Button. Really doesn't want to do it. No, I'm looking. I have it here. Button doesn't want to. Oh. Let's actually say query selector. So we're gonna go with query selector now. I'm selecting a button. Query selector button. So we select the button. What we're doing, we're actually adding the style background straight to the button. So let's see if that works. That should work. Because yeah, so we are adding it as the background straight to the button and the color. Add that straight to it. Now it works. Wait, I was supposed to and then we need to set timeout and then remove these. So we're just gonna remove it and remove that, remove it. Now, so we go in, this is an interval, so this will happen every second, but inside the interval we have a timeout, meaning after 1 second we will remove the colors, we'll change the styling and change the color basically to the original. So I'm just putting nothing here so that it just goes back to whatever it was. So it's going to be red and goes back to whatever it was. And I want to keep this white. Actually, if I could just not do anything, but I think that's actually tell it to be white. We want this to be white. So we want the text to be white and the background to be background red. So let's see. So it should flash because it's gonna come on after 1 second, go off. There you go. So now it doesn't get enough time. So let's make this 2 seconds. Let's see. Because it doesn't have enough time now, it keeps clearing it before it has to come. So yes, okay, yeah, comes. That comes when it has to come back. So our timeout is in the middle. So this is gonna wait for 2 seconds to come back. But the first second we're gonna take the colors off, and then after 2 seconds it will come on. So it feels like it's happening every second, but every 2 seconds and then timeout. 1 second, take it off and come back. So now we have our flash. So the flash is working, but this is not how we want it to work. We only want this to happen when someone made an edit. So if you you edit, then we want that, but we want this to be in a constant variable. So we're gonna call it edit alert. Edit alert. So it's just an alert to say you've made an edit, you need to save. Okay, edit alert. So now we want this to happen when you make an edit. So we can actually just put this in a function if we wanted, but let's just let it be like this and put if. Yeah, it has to be a function because we need to call the function. So I'll make this a function. Make this a function and let's call it edit alert. So edit alert function. Edit alert function. And then put our and then in here we need to say if saved if save button is pressed, right? So when you press the save button, we have to clear this. If save button I guess we can go hit, save button hit equals to true. Then to clear the interval and then make save button false. So we need to let save button to be we have to put it at the top here. So let save button hit false. So when we come in here, we'll make this false. And then we go in and we have our button. And then we only call this function when we make an edit. So we have to call the function when someone makes an edit. So come here, we have to check here. So when an input, so if you're making an edit in this input, then we want this to call the button and then make this true. So we're gonna make that true. Wait, we have to make this false. So we'll make it true so that that's the so that it starts the flash. But no, let me see. So we're calling this, it will come in here, start the interval. And then check if this is true. If this is true, it's gonna clear the interval. So we don't wanna make it true. We wanna keep it as false because we don't want it to clear the interval yet. So we're just gonna call that if someone's making an edit. So if someone, let me see, yes, if someone makes an edit here, we'll call the function. So we're gonna call this function. Now this function is gonna start the flash, but we also need to protect this as well, because if we've already started the interval, so in the interval started, so if we started the interval, so we're just gonna say interval started, right? So if the interval is false, meaning the interval is not running, then we come in here, we start the interval. Yes. Okay. Because we don't want to keep starting the interval. But let's try to work with what we have for now. I'm going to remove this because it doesn't want to. I just have to see what happens, basically. So let's see what happens. So the interval we'll call this and start the interval. All right. So start button blink. Yes, we're just gonna say blink. All right, so we're gonna come here. So if someone makes an edit, we start this. We'll start the blinking. So we start that blink, and then if this is true, we will clear this. So this is not true yet. So we're gonna start it. Now, if you update, so someone will save. So if this button here, if someone clicks this button, we need to now, because we need this function now to actually work. So if someone clicks the button, we make, yes, if someone clicks the button, we stop blinking. So we have to stop the blinking. We stop blinking. Okay. So we're gonna stop the blinking. So we have to test this soon. But yes, so if I input something, the blinking will start. So right now, if we refresh this, it should not be blinking. So it should come back without the blink. And then if we push, or if we input something, then we get the blink, get the blinking. But we have to push something. So let's see. So The back, I have to hit the head. All right, let's see where we are. So we're back. Yes, the button is not blinking. So there's no blinking on the button. So now, if I say I change this now, if I do something, that button should start blinking. No, not blinking. Not blinking. It should tell me why. Let me see. So now, not blinking. Input, this should, so I'm gonna log here. I'll log to the yeah, we can say input value, fine. So I'm just gonna log whatever I'm typing here. So if I type something, this should log to the thing, and then I should also in here log to see if it comes here. So let's log to the console. I'm gonna call it blink. So we want to see if it gets here. So it's just for testing. So now it's refreshing for a very long time. Okay, yeah, it's quicker today. No, it's not. we now, yeah, this is the color, so that's this color here. So if you make a change of the color, it's doing a blinking. So now if you hit this, yeah, so we didn't protect it. See, it's flashing faster because now there's several uh, interval that we started. So we've set more intervals, so we need to protect the interval. But yes, so if you hit this, it was supposed to stop. Hasn't stopped, but that's all right. Let's get to it. So let's go there, and then we must put this here. So this is the color, and then other fields. So we have color, do that. Then text is this one, but we need the same. Need the same thing. Yeah, so that when, yeah, we need the same, we need that. So that whenever there's an input, something happens. Actually, we can put this outside. We can put this outside. Put this inside the for loop, but outside. Put it down there. Put it outside. So that any then remove this. We don't need this there anymore. So it's outside any of the if statements, so that it now it will do it for all the inputs. So all the inputs in this for loop will do that, but we still need to protect our interval, because now it flashes faster. It flashes faster because there's more intervals there. So we're gonna go in the interval. So we will set something in the interval. So just outside, we're gonna say let protect interval be equals to false. So we're saying interval not protected, and then come in here, we say interval equals to true. So we make the interval true so that the interval is protected. And then now we say if interval is true, so I have to put this, it has to go inside the if statement. Okay, let's do this. Because we don't want the interval to happen. We don't want the interval to happen, or to start multiple times, because right now it's starting, and then if we make an edit somewhere else, it will start again. So we want the interval to not start multiple times. And now if I put this in an if statement, so maybe make this var, make this var, and then put it outside, and then in here, so, and then if so interval is still protected, so we're gonna go if interval is true or is false, come inside. But if interval is make this false. Okay, cool. This is happening. Happy now. So we're saying, okay, when you come into this function, only start the interval. So only go in the interval and start the interval when this is false. And then once we're in here, we're gonna make it true, so that now it's protected. So when you try to start it again, it will not start, because it's protected now. And then once someone hits the button down here, when they hit the button, right, this will clear the interval. And make this false, which means it's no longer protected now. So interval will stop, and then we don't protect it because now we want the next edit to start the interval again, so we can see the flash. So now we are here, so let's see. So if this is click, we save the button and we call the function. So if they click, yeah, if someone clicks this, we're gonna call our function. We're gonna make this true, call our function. So in the function, save button hit is true, and then this is what we're expecting here to clear the interval. So when we get here, it won't go in there because this is true, but it will come here and set everything false, clear the interval, and then we're home free. Let's see if my logic is gonna work. So let's refresh and see what happens after we refresh. Let's see what happens. let's so we're gonna make the edit. So we're gonna call this now day shift. Day shift. So we're calling it day shift. Even if we change this to a different color, the buttons should still flash the same. So that's still flashing the same. So now, if we hit the button, the flashing should stop. Flashing is not stopping. But this is now saved. But this is not stopping. So if we were to change this, that should start flashing there. So even that as well. So if we change this, that should flash. The same thing, evening, that should flash. But now when we hit the button, it doesn't stop. So now we need to figure out why it's not stopping. It's supposed to stop. So when we hit the button, this is what we're doing. So I just want to log this to see that save button hit, yeah, whatever. So I want to see if we get here, and then after getting there, do we now also come here? Do we come here? Okay, so the blink, okay, we have blink. So blink should work. If we come here, it will go blink. Okay. And then does it stop? So we come in here, stop blink. So yeah, stop blink. So let's see if this is gonna stop the blinking. Okay, so let's see. I wanna refresh, or I wanna take stop the logging here because it's filling up my console. Okay, so let's refresh, and then now clear when we press it. So let's go, click our button, save, cleared. Okay, let's test the next one. So we're gonna put something in here. I don't think this will, here we did not, because that's a text element. So a text element, description, this one. Description, 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 description input. Description input, we did not put that function. So we want here we need to put that linking function here. So this function, this one, we want to put this function in there. Delete the console logging. So we want our function to be in here, so that we call the edit alert. Yeah, we must call that edit alert when this is happening. So, and there's something else I wanted to do. So when an input is in focus, I want to change the background color. So we should have it somewhere here. So when an input is in focus, we have to make it so that we see that this input is in focus, and this is where we are editing at the moment. So in there we say input dot style dot background color, make it variable. We don't want to make it red, we want to make it white. So white is not white in dark mode, white is actually dark in dark mode, because we are in dark mode. So okay, so we want the background to be white when we are in focus. So let's go, and then when we are not in focus, we want to remove that. We're gonna make this focus. So when we are in focus, we want the so when we are in focus, we want the background to be this. When we come out, when we go blur, we want the background to be removed. And this must happen for description as well. So we can copy this, bring it down here next to description. Then we do the same thing. We're just going to change this to description, so we see that, okay, we are in edit mode. We are editing this input. So now let us refresh. have red in the console, so we did something. So it says undefined input 100. It's 100. Where is 100? It doesn't know what this is because we didn't change that and that, because now it doesn't know what the inputs are there. They're inside a for loop. So outside this for loop, we don't know what those inputs are. So that's why we were getting those errors. So now let's see. So then we see it should not be flashing. When we come back, it shouldn't be flashing. Why is it flashing? Because we only call it when we call the function when something happens, when someone makes an input, we call it. We don't just call it. So why is it flashing already? We haven't done anything. It's flashing. It's being called 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Something is calling it. Now we need to know who is calling our function. Who is calling it? So I haven't clicked the button. It just says link, but who's calling it? Okay, we call it here, so we didn't see that. And then we call it here. So I'm going to log something out here. So if we see this log, then we're calling it from here. So this is the description. So I'm just gonna log description input. So if we're calling it from here, we should see that in the description. Okay. So let's go. If we're calling it from the description. Okay. Let's see. So I'm gonna refresh. And this should tell us where we're calling the function. Yes, from description. So we're calling it from description, but we haven't done anything. So yeah, so this is what I wanted. So if something's in focus, it must do that. And I also want, so if you're in focus, do this. I also want it to have a border. So we'll input we'll try to say editable. Maybe this will do it. Just gonna call it editable input. Do the same thing here. Editable input, and then we're gonna clear, remove editable input. So we don't need this. So we're gonna do this in CSS now. So we just give it a class so that when we go to CSS, that class will make it what we want, and we can do more without confusing everyone. So, or even confusing ourselves. So, move editable, and then here, clear that out. Come here, and then in here we have to put editable input. Editable input, so editable input. Now we're gonna make it, so we're gonna make the background like we did in JavaScript, variable white, give it the border as we wanted, and then yeah, so everything should just take that. So refresh. So now it will be, when you click on it, it will, when you an input is in focus, it will give you, it should do that. So it's not doing it because it can't see our class, because we made a class, yes, add class, and this class, so meaning this class, and that also didn't work, but we'll figure out why. So now, yeah, it's really not working. Something is not doing. Because otherwise we have to do all of this in JavaScript if it doesn't work with CSS. Doesn't want to work with CSS. Doesn't want to do it. So we will do it twice. So we'll have it here. Also there. And then we're gonna go description, input, dot style, dot color, equals to, we want, no, it's not color, it's border. So we want to put border in there. Okay, actually the border must be here, and then here we remove the border, and then we do the same for the inputs. So if it's in focus, we also want to have input border, input style border, and then remove the border when it's not in focus. So now we're doing it straight from JavaScript, straight from there. So now when we click on it, we should see the black behind and yeah, I wanted to also see that. Just to show that you are editing this. You are editing this. Yeah. you are editing that. So now we have to figure out why description input is calling this, because there is it's not even in focus. So why is it calling? So another thing that can help us is if we put this input inside focus. So now the event listener with focus, okay, going to copy this code, this piece of code, and then paste it there. So that's copy. So that, yeah, the font size is large now, so that we just want the dustbin to be a little bit bigger. I don't think it took it. It did not take it. I have to figure out why that's happening. But anyway, we're doing it in JavaScript now. So make it large, and it should now be large. Because now we're actually cranking it now. Manually making it. I mean, it's not manual, it's code, but yes. Yeah, I like that. Like this. Also gonna just go padding. It's pad 5 all around. So I don't want it to look big, and I want to bring the sides closer to the dustbin. So yeah, so it's small like that. I'm wondering if I should just okay. But anyway, this button works. So if I click on this button, it will remove the shift. So that works. Even if we refresh, that shift won't come back. We will have to add that shift again. So So this one works, so we can edit graveyard. Give it like a dark color as we did before, and times it's a midnight shift, obviously coming out in the morning, and then make this whatever you want to make it. Midnight shift, add this, so this will add, so works very well, like it. And now because we've saved this, we were supposed to just clear that. So let's see our border. So when we are adding a new shift, where is that add button? So this is just creating row. So we need to find where we're calling this function from. So we're calling it from here. So we're calling it from here. What we're looking for is that shift. So add button, it goes there, and okay, that's the same. We call that, and then that does the same thing. Okay, so it's just the same thing, but then we add this red to this. Last child. Oh, we're adding red to the last child. Okay, that's gonna work. So I just need to remove it. So when we press the add button, the add button or the save button, we call save. So this save, okay, it goes in there and it will do all of this. So now if this is successful, we want to remove the red border. That red border, we must get rid of the red border. Must get rid of that red border. So let's get the nearest. So here we're gonna go const okay, this is the row. This is the row. So if we say a row is new row, so we're saying we want this row dot style, want to remove the border. So that border red, we're gonna go remove border nothing, or border none. Let's just go border none. So this now should remove the red border when we save. So add a new shift and see if, so we're gonna add a standby shift. So we're gonna go morning standby. Morning standby. Obviously, we make it like morning standby shift. So you will be standing by in the morning. You don't have to go to work, but you are just on standby. So when we save this, must clear there. Nothing happened. Did not clear. It did not refresh. I think it did not refresh, but it should clear. Very much clear. So let's see. Oh, is new. Oh, is new comes from here. Cool. All right. So let's see. So now we have to add another shift, but let's clear history again, because for some reason I think these things are not showing up because history is forgotten. So we must clear history. You then just make the update and then that stops. So that works. We did this so that when you're in focus, so you can see what I'm in focus and I'm editing this. We should also check how it looks in light mode. So yeah, looks fine. Looks fine. So if you make an edit, it will start flashing and then removed. Okay, but we're gonna stay in dark mode. Okay, so yeah, so that's done. Red border, we remove the red border, and then there was something else, but now this is happy. So these new shifts that we've added should now appear appear here. So let's go this week, because now that's 1 September. This week we should see our shift is here. All our shifts are here. You can add the new shift. Generate will just generate. Okay, so this doesn't. So if you click anywhere but not on somebody's card, if you click inside the cell, inside the particular cell, you will get this pop up. Then you can add a shift. So if you do that inside the cell but not on a person, if you click on somebody, then it will just give you this pop-up where you can copy or edit or delete. So if I click here, I should be able to now, it should give me the guys. So add somebody, right? It should, doesn't want to click. Tell me why. Not telling me why. Hey, it's not clicking. Try here. Try getting it from there. Not clicking. What the hell? Okay, I need to figure out why this is happening. It is not like it clicks, yes, but it doesn't put the. It doesn't put it in there. Let's refresh, but it should just work. I have to figure out why when I click it doesn't put it in the input. Gotta check it out. Nothing. Hey. Okay. Yeah, I will have to check this. Yesterday this worked just fine. Today it doesn't want to work. We'll see why. Let's move to here. Okay. So I didn't make this do the pop-up, but I can always make it. But let's see. So do that. Yeah, it doesn't want to work. Okay, we will check this tomorrow. See what's happening with add shift pop up. So add shift pop up. We need to know what's wrong with this. Add shift pop up, because it doesn't wanna add the shift. But again, you can just always come here and generate. So generate will just allocate everybody onto a shift. So everyone will get a shift. So let's see. Yeah, it's coming. It is coming.